Welcome to Tidbits, part of the Knowing Me podcast. When I look at beautiful photos, I often say to myself, I wonder if this person is a good photographer or if they're just an expert at Photoshop. So often I look at pictures and I think, wow, that is so great. And then I go online and I'm working on things of my own and I realize that you can change the background, you can change the foreground, you can change the color, you can change the way the person is looking, you can change just about everything about any photo. So the question comes to me, because I've been a photographer, is it because they're good at Photoshop or is it because they're a good photographer? And I think that travels over into our personal life too, because what I've noticed about myself is that I don't really present to people who I really am. I'm not really honest about who Joanne is. I'm not honest about what I'm going through. I'm not honest about my emotions, not because I don't want to be, but because often I just don't understand how to be honest. And also, I'm so used to pretending that everything is fine. I walk around life as if I'm photoshopped instead of being this person that God wants me to be, this person that He created to be inside of me. And instead of trying to enhance it or change it, He wants me to embrace it and to accept it. I've often wondered what this world would be like if we quit pretending that we're something that we're not, if we really embraced who we are and allowed God to reveal to others His love in us and through us, not because of what we do, but because of who we are. We are not what we pretend to be most of the time. We are not the people that we want to be most of the time, and so we tend to cover it up, and we walk around life photoshopped. I think it's time in my life and in yours that we start to say, God, what's the image you've created in me? Who am I made like? Not my perspective of it, not my version of it, but what is your version of me? Who am I to you? Who am I to the world, just the way you've made me? I remember one time I was at a weekend retreat for people that had been sexually abused. And the question that they asked was, if you could be healed completely from your abuse and you could present yourself as the woman God made you to be, what would you put on? What would you wear? How would you dress yourself? And everybody's going around talking about nice dresses, putting on high heels, and the girl beside me had been Miss Canada. So I felt quite a little bit different, because I am a little bit different. We're all different. And she said she'd like to put pink on, spaghetti strap things with high heels and just feel free to do that again. And I really didn't know what to say. And I said, please pass me by, come back to me. So they came back to me. And in that time, I realized that Joanne is a woman. But when I feel most feminine, it isn't in a dress, but it's in my riding boots and my blue jeans and a really nice blouse. That's when I feel most feminine. That's the real me. And I'm a woman. I love dressing up. I love feeling this. But once I decided to be honest with myself instead of trying to measure up to the standards of everybody else, I finally decided that this is me. And I'm going to be me. I'm going to live me. I'm going to be the me that God created me to be, that woman that He desired me to be. And I wonder if you're not the same as I was, always trying to be something that God didn't create, because there's this standard that everybody thinks they have to live up to. We have been fearfully and wonderfully made in His image. This image of God in us, this part of us that allows us to love and to feel and to think and to make decisions based on what He says, not just emotion. The ability to respond to life in a different way than maybe the world thinks we should. The ability to embrace who we are in Him and who He longs us to be. We need to remember that we are God's masterpiece. We're not George or Fred's or Bob's or Sally's or Jean's masterpiece. We are God's masterpiece, and He has created us to do the works that He has planned for us before we were even born. I don't know if you are photoshopped, either by the world or by yourself or by the people around you, but I think it's time that you and I took the mask off and let God reveal who we really are, for the praise of His glory and for our good. That's what He's wanted all along. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time.